transmission, we've got our transfer case, we installed the carbon fiber drive shaft from the drive shaft shop, and also the rear differential. I have not yet installed the axles. The reason being is this particular build has actually been a father-son team's project, and the father, Andy, decided to surprise Stavros with a coilover suspension. Matter of fact, it's the drag spec coilover suspension from STM, the same one that I have on my Black Zenith Evo, and he doesn't know yet that they are going to be on the vehicle when he picks it up. So I'm holding off on doing the axles at the same time as I do the suspension, just because I'm going to be in that area and messing around with the axles, so I may as well deal with the suspension at that time. So aside from that, the drivetrain is assembled. I am waiting on the speed-driven gear for the speedometer and the speed sensor, because that's something that we didn't have on hand, and again goes back to one of the reasons why I strictly work with Boostin, because they're my local trusted partner when it comes to transmission stuff. Another item has been missing from the configuration here, so we're waiting on that, and I'm going to go ahead and hold off on putting in the rear subframe for the front until that shows up, because I also have to install my Hochman Fabrication and Speed scatter shield, and it's going to be a lot easier to do the install once I get that speed sensor, the driven gear for the speedometer that goes with it installed in the transmission, and also the scatter shield installed together. It'll be way easier, like I said, without having that subframe in the way. So in the short term, I want to go ahead and move forward on installing the next piece of the puzzle for the drivetrain, which, seeing it, you may or may not already be familiar with. But this is the Inline-Racing Lockout-Shifter, offered by my buddy Hoy Tran. This particular shifter is badass. It's the same one that I have in my car, and ultimately it functions like a normal shifter if you have this pin installed, which he provides along with it, and I'm going to get it installed in the vehicle and demonstrate how it all works. But quick overview: you can drive this thing like it's a normal car without being locked out of any gear if you have that pin in it. But if you put the pin in, or you pull the pin I should say, and you're at the drag strip and you're doing full throttle shifting, you certainly don't want to be downshifting. We all know what happens if that happens. You basically take out the motor, the transmission, everything that you've worked hard for is completely gone. So with that being said, as soon as you pull that pin, as you shift up, meaning 1 to 2, it locks you out of 1. 2 to 3, it locks you out of 2. 3 to 4, it locks you out of 3. So you ultimately are prevented from ruining everything that you've worked so hard for. And it's very simple to get it back into the lower gears. You simply lift up on this sleeve right here, that's spring activated, and it'll allow you to move into whatever gears you want. But as soon as you let go of that sleeve and you shift into it in first, go ahead and give it hell, because it's not going to let you go into the lower gears. So I'm going to go ahead and get that thing installed in the car, show you guys a little bit more about it as soon as I get it installed. You're now inside the cockpit of Stavros' Evo 8 transformation project, and we are getting ready to install this now, this Inline-Racing shifter. Once you get your center console all pulled apart, this is what you're going to see. It's basically a plastic shift bracket or frame, whatever you want to call it. The installation is very simple. You're going to remove these two bolts right here carefully, paying close attention to the design of the spring that's integrated into the assembly here to ensure that the shifter goes back into its centered position. And then you're going to pull out the OEM shifter, which has this plastic bracket built onto it, and then you simply slide in the Inline-Racing shifter assembly, reassemble it, and put your center console back together, and it's all set. So I'm going to do that here real quick. After I pulled this off, I almost forgot to mention that you need to remove and transfer this plastic piece, this plastic ball-shaped clip from the original shifter onto the Inline-Racing shifter so that it fits properly in the shift cable mechanism. So I'm going to go ahead and run out here real quick, grab a couple of flatheads, pop it off, and then put it on the inline shifter. I'll be right back in a moment. Okay, so we're back, and I do want to point out that there are two plastic clips. There's one on the bottom and one on the side, both of which you'll want to remove. They're really simple to remove from the original shift assembly. You just simply put a little bit of outward pressure on them. I like to use two little flatheads, and they pop right off. Likewise, you just put a little bit of pressure and it snaps right onto the Inline-Racing assembly. So with that being said, we're about ready to install, but it is a good time to remind you that when assembling parts that are metal on metal and they're going to be moving quickly often, it's a good idea to apply some lubrication. So naturally, I like to use Lucas oil. They offer an extreme pressure synthetic grease that comes in this nice convenient little tube, and it makes it really simple and easy for me to do an application here before doing the installation on the vehicle. So just a tech tip here, keeps things happy and smooth for the long haul. So now that I've got the Inline-Racing shifter assembly installed, I'll give you a quick little demo on how it works. Once you put your shift knob obviously on here, it'll look normal to you along with the rest of your shift assembly. But this particular sleeve right here is what functions the lockout mechanism. So if you put the car in first gear and you don't have the pin in, as soon as you shift from first to second, you hear that click? It's locking me out of first gear, so I can't go back into it accidentally. Then if I want to shift into third, I shift into third, and it's not going to let me go back into second gear. It's going to lock me out of second and force me into fourth gear, which will then, of course, lock me out of previous gears. So that's really how it works. As soon as you want to drive on the street, you take this pin. There is a hole in the middle of the shaft there below the sleeve once you lift it all the way up, and it keeps the sleeve in its upward position, so you can literally shift and drive around on the street without having any issues or inconveniences. As soon as you go racing, you can pull that pin, and now it's back to a lockout shifter mechanism. So again, something I have in the Black Zenith Evo, and a must if you race with full throttle shifting. With the shifter now in, along with the rest of the drivetrain components with the exception of the axles, it's now time to go ahead and get those installed. That way we can start adding fluids and do final install on the rest of the turbo kit. So I'm pretty sure that Stavros is not going to be able to see the car, or not planning to come see the car, I should say, until it's ready for pickup. So it should be safe to go ahead and install the coilovers along with the axles right now. Fingers crossed that I've waited long enough and that he's not actually accidentally going to stumble upon that before it's ready. But as far as timing goes, it's time to get that all on the car now, so let's get that going.